Hello.
Wow. This is a good book, folks. This is a very good book. Welcome to the show. Craig Bushon here. It's Monday. It's the day before the 4th. Letters from Trump. You know, we're going to do a little reading from the book today, this good book. I don't know if any of you have it or if you've heard any of the riveting letters from some of the people that are roasting the former president number 45, Donald Trump. But letters to Trump is something that we're going to read each day. We're going to pull a letter out of the book and we're going to read what these people were saying to and about Donald Trump. So that's going to be very interesting. I'm excited to do that. Also, today is a high-risk day for me, ladies and gentlemen. It's a high-risk day. Most of you are on vacation. I appreciate you tuning in. It's. I hope you're barbecuing. I hope you're having a blast. And know that tomorrow's show for the 4th of July is going to be great. Okay? No doubt about it. We're going to talk about the 4th, the history of the 4th, all that. 1776 all over the place. But today, I'm going to tell you, it's a risky day because here's my show prep. I actually have no show prep. No, I take it back. My show prep, it says show here, it says ask Craig at CraigBushon.com. That's what it says. Ask Craig at CraigBushon.com. So, Eric, you had me write that down. Again, Eric, I want to welcome you to the show. He's always behind the scenes making things happen. Eric Thompson, the producer extraordinaire, how are you?
Doing well, and this ought to be a lot of fun because we're just going to be hitting you with question after question.
Yeah, I don't know anything about this show today, folks. Just know that. This is one of those shows, and we're going to do this periodically, where I have no prep whatsoever. It says show. You know, sometimes, I'll write things down, and kind of give an idea of what I want to talk about and, kind of a flow. Today, it just says show. That's it. And ask Craig at CraigBushon.com. So why am I writing down ask Craig at CraigBushon.com?
Because we need questions from you, the viewer and listener. We need to have you send in your comments or questions to ask Craig at CraigBushon.com and say, well, what about this? Or be me for a minute. Just ask. You have access to Craig and ask a question, and I'll read the questions.
That's going to be exciting.
I'll read the questions online, and Craig can answer them directly to you.
I like that. I look forward to that. Hey, I got the whole world here. The whole world. Look at that. American, folks. That's right. That is the most important country on the entire map for you and I. No doubt about it. And today, I'm excited to see and hear what we're going to do. So I'm going to step back. Eric, go ahead. Where are we starting?
We're going to start with a question based off of an article that you wrote on your website. So okay. What do you mean, or what was the premise of the question? What did you come up with for your summation on does a small group of people control the world?
Well, it's top of mind today, and was top of mind many years ago. If you scroll down, and you can see the symbolism of those businessmen walking up, the stairs into the government building in Washington, D.C., what we would call the deep state. I mean, who are these people? And this is a good article. I'm glad you brought this up. This is a little while ago when I put this together. It spells out some of the top names that are discussed throughout history. For example, scroll down here so the folks can see it. You got the Bilderbergs. You got the Committee of 300. You have a lot. And if you don't know what the Committee of 300 is, you better pay attention. So you've got the cabal. There was a lot of organizations out there that have a deep history. The Masons, the Freemasons. George Washington was a Freemason, and others. And it spells out who they were, the Illuminati, A lot of people think the Illuminati is like alive and kicking right now. And they believe that, some of these stars, that make it really big, like the Beyoncés and others, that they sell their soul for their fame. So they have their fame for a little bit amount of time, and the exchange for that is absolute destruction of their lives. Some would say Whitney Houston was that way. So there's people who believe, that these groups exist and they have actual power, and that is what controls the world today. And the Order of the Golden Dawn. Not many people have heard of that group. So if you go there, we can make this top of mind. I'm going to share this out. We're going to retweet this out. We'll put it up on Spreely. We'll put it up on Twellet. And because, the reality is, Eric, that I wanted to show the real history of the top names of these groups that are, some say, conspiracies. But today, Eric, it feels like there's people like this out there controlling the world or trying to control the world. Here you go. 8 predictions for the world in 2030. What's this? We got the World Economic Forum. That's another one. The WEF. You have the World Health Organization. You have a lot of stuff going on, folks, that I could put on that list. Okay. So that's why I did it.
Okay. So 1971, the World Economic Forum launched the same year that Nixon took us off the gold standard. And now
That's a
we
coincidence.
I know we go fast forward to 2017, and the World Economic Forum, they took a compilation of their comments and their agenda, and here are 8 predictions that was coming out of the World Economic Forum
I would like to discuss these
by 2030. So let's go back, what is that, 7 years ago, and see what they were predicting and how close and how on course they might be at this point.
Hey, you know what? It's fitting. Look at my shirt today.
That's right.
Not of this world. See that right there?
Yep.
Can you see it?
Yep. NOTW.
Right? That's so funny. We're doing this today. I had no idea. But go ahead. Sorry.
All right, here we go. There we go and start.
Okay, pause right there.
Okay, so we're going to own nothing.
Well, we got to discuss these. Wait a minute. We can't blow past these things. No, go back.
Okay, so now what I wanted to ask you is, are you like me? Do you see that these predictions weren't just rhetorical questions? There's actually teeth behind them.
Well, pause. Okay, pause right there. There we go. You'll own nothing and you'll be happy.
By 2030.
And then in blue, in that aqua, it says nothing, be happy. Why? Yep. If you just you'll own and then you'll own nothing and you'll be happy. Then at the bottom it says, based on the input of members of the World Economic Forum's Global Future Councils. Spooky people. I mean, you'll own nothing and you'll be happy. I was driving down the road the other day on this exact subject, and it's a rental community of just homes. In the business model there, I was able to speak to one of the developers of a community like that. Coincidentally, I actually had that conversation with this builder right after I discovered this community that was all rental homes. And I asked him, I said, well, tell me about that. And this builder builds a lot of properties, commercial properties, and builds residential properties like this. And it's exactly what he said to me. He goes, Craig, we're building these communities, 200, 250 homes, something like that. And we're keeping them for 2 to 3 years. And then we're going to sell them to BlackRock. That's the business model. So is that a conspiracy theory? No. Are they really trying to reshape? You're going to not own a house. Do they really not want you to own a home? Yes, that's a fact. Cars the same way, the whole 9 yards. So anyway, I also want to throw that out there because I literally just had this conversation not long ago, and these communities are popping up all over the place. Then BlackRock is buying them, and that's a scary deal. But go ahead.
Okay, so that was one of the first predictions. Was by 2030. Everyone will be happy owning nothing. Now, and here's a second point.
Oh, blow that up. I can't see it.
Okay. I'll go back then. All right, here we go. My fault. We'll get you up here. So here's point
Keep
two.
keep me small. Look how small I am compared to the world anyway. You can just keep me in the corner. That's fine. Whatever you want, you'll rent. There it is. And it'll be delivered by drone. Now, that's different. Now, whatever you want, you'll rent. And then you're not going to deliver your home by a drone. But the fact is, whatever you want, you'll rent. That is exactly what they want. They want it in houses. They want it in cars. They want you in apartments. They do not want you to own your own private property. That is a fact. And it'll be delivered by drone. I suspect what they're thinking about there is, any I don't know what, maybe movies, but you do that digitally now. So what would you rent? And it'll be delivered by drone. So maybe that's two separate statements.
No,
you'll rent and it'll be delivered by drone. What are they going to deliver by drone that you would rent that you would normally buy? Like
everything. They're talking about toasters.
Who rents movies anymore? That's all digitally.
Appliances. Toasters, hair dryer, everything would be rented. You won't want to own anything because you'd be.
Oh, I see what
you'd be destroying the planet. This way, you don't destroy the planet. You rent everything, and then you return
and then
it.
They take it back and they recycle it.
Yeah.
It goes through some great progress.
By 2030,
you don't own anything, so you can't have a garage sale then.
No, because you don't own it.
What about the garage sale? I love garage sales.
You won't have a garage. You don't need
that's true.
because you won't have a car. You won't have
a yard sale.
You won't have a car, and you won't have a garage, and so no need. Okay, so that was their second thing there that they were predicting by 2030. Yeah, what's the next one on the magic list?
The U.S. won't be the world's leading superpower. And then in the blue, it's important to see what's in this turquoise. U.S. won't be superpower. They want you to see that. They want that to be bold. The world wants you, the World Economic Forum, look about in your face. Talk about in your face. What an insult. I mean, what an insult it is to the American citizen. The blood, sweat, and tears that this country's done to save Europe. This country is the only country on the face of the earth, folks, that could literally, we've talked about this before on the show, we could literally just build a wall around this country and need nothing from anybody. But have we done that? No. We have taken our blood, sweat, and tears and our talents, and we've spread it across the globe to help people. World War I, World War II, the Middle East battles, the boondoggles of these wars that we've been getting into, how disrespectful. Look at Ukraine right now. Look at the European weakness, how pathetically weak they are, that they can't handle it on their own. They need, again, once the United States of America. Folks, this is an insult to you and I. And it's because they don't have what it takes to be like us. It's just that simple. They don't have what it takes to be like the United States of America. So they have to, what's the saying? Misery loves company, right? They're miserable. France is burning down. They've allowed their borders to be opened up to they don't believe that culture means anything. They don't believe that what people believe in religiously doesn't matter. There's that everything can be this melting pot, and your individualism has no value. Wow. Well, it's insulting. Okay, go ahead.
Well, so let me ask you a question off this.
Yeah, please.
Do you think other nations, if they had our power, would be doing what we're doing, or would they have started their own domination of the world?
It depends on who it is, for sure. Look, if China, look what China's doing in this little smidgen of time, this small little space that they've had. You go back to 1981, China was nothing. Barely evolving out of a second world country, quite frankly. And look what they're trying to do so quickly is they want to dethrone the very country, Nixon, going back to 71, Nixon, he's the one who opened up relations with China. Almost like it'd be benign. Oh, don't worry about it. Look at those poor people. We can help them evolve. Well, how's that working? How's that working out for us? These countries, unfortunately, many of them, or too many of them, when they get the power, you do not want to live in that world, folks. You do not want to live in that world. It is a horrific thought that China would replace the United States of America as the leader of the world. And you would ask yourself, well, does the world need leaders? Does the world really need a leader? Does America really need to be the one who stands up? Do we have to police the whole country? The short answer is yes. And the reason we do is because of our morality, which is also devolving. But thank goodness the Supreme Court's been helping a lot lately. Yeah, thank you, Trump. That's a beautiful thing. But the fact is, folks, the United States of America is the last beacon of liberty on the face of the earth. Look what's going on in Canada, right there. Look what's going on in Mexico, right below us. Anyway, I'm sorry, I will not filibuster. I will send it back to you, Eric. I don't want to get off.
One more before break. Here we go. So the next one.
A handful of countries will dominate. Well, at least they have America in there. I mean, there we are, kind of blended in with the rest of them. Because look, we're all the same, folks. We're all the same. You're the same. You are just like Pakistan. You're the same. You are not the same, folks. Don't fall for this. What does it say in turquoise? Handful of countries dominate. Unbelievable.
By 2030.
2030? My gosh, that's what? 6.5 years? Well, at this rate, if we don't change the politics in 2024, folks, they might be right. Because you can see this death of 1,000 cuts. I mean, the very first thing that Biden did was go right after the jugular, right after the jugular of our economics. Literally went right in and said, what is the United States of America? What do the citizens have right now? The citizens have right now more money than they've had in a long time. They're finding individualism. Black people have more money than they've had before. Minorities are doing better than they've done in decades, if not ever, in the modern U.S. Fuel's $1.80 something a gallon. We have to stop that. And that's what he did. That right there, folks, that piece right there, when you know, and this is why 2024 is the most important election in the history of the Republic. Fact. No doubt about it. Go ahead, Eric. Sorry. We going to break?
I will. We've got to get to our break. So,
hey, I like this. We'll see you in a minute, folks.
soft and smooth.
It's cool to the touch. How did you do that?
Well, we took MyPillow's patented fill and combined it with this new technology that we didn't have back then when I invented MyPillow to bring you the best pillow in history, MyPillow 2.0. Because of all of you, MyPillow 2.0 has been a huge success, and now we're bringing you our best-selling Go Anywhere MyPillows with the same temperature-regulating technology. Made with my patented adjustable fill and brand new cooling fabric, they're truly the next generation of MyPillow. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save over 60% on our MyPillow 2.0 4-pack special. You'll get 2 MyPillows and 2 Go Anywhere MyPillows, regular $259.92, now only $99.98. King size just $10 more. This is a limited time offer, so please order now.
Welcome back to the show, folks. Yeah, letters to Trump. Oh, we're going to read a page today. This is some good reading, and it's going to be interesting when you see the names out there and what they wrote to Donald Trump, and then what they say about him now. It really shows you who they are. But welcome back to the show, folks. It's Monday. It's the day before 4th of July. I've got no show prep today. I have Ask Craig at CraigBushon.com. And that's because you're going to be able to send your questions in, and then I'm going to answer them. And Eric is just going to say them, and I'm going to read them, and I'm going to give you my opinion. And that's just the way it is. I'm not going to choreograph everything and know exactly what I'm going to say. No teleprompters there going, like having a list like you've seen Biden, next question, please. Anyway, Eric, how are you? Where are we at?
Good.
What are we
Good.
doing?
All right. So we are continuing what the globalists were predicting would happen by 2030. And so far, it's not looking too good because I think they are on their way. But what was the next point that they were after here?
Okay, there you go. Let's see. You won't die waiting for an organ donor. Okay, won't die waiting organ. Okay, I don't know if that makes too much sense there, but because I like reading what they have highlighted in turquoise, I think that means something. But you won't die waiting for an organ donor. Okay, there's got to be more than that. I mean, you won't die. So what are they going to do? You're not going to wait. They're going to have like a stockpile of organs or something like that. Go ahead. What does it say?
Well, that's basically it. In their philosophy, they're going to advance science so far. Okay. Because the world's going to be focusing on it, that they're going to grow. The next one, I think they talk about growing organs.
Oh, they do. Let me see it. Let me see.
So let's see the part of their plan. Here we go.
Okay. I knew there had to be.
Here it is.
Okay, a 3D printer. Hey, that's a 3D printer. I have a 3D printer. 3D printers are awesome, by the way, folks. Super cool. You can build lots of cool things. No doubt about it. We won't transplant organs. We'll print new ones instead. So, turquoise, won't transplant. We'll print. Well, let me think. Is that a good idea? Yeah, I mean, I have a 3D printer, and I had it to build like cool automotive parts and stuff like that, and cool little pieces and of things that to mount like lights and stuff on vehicles. My hobby. 3D printing, I think, is real. I think it's an exceptional technology. I think if you can 3D print a heart and it can help somebody, I think that's fantastic. And there's no doubt about that. You won't have to have that little heart on your driver's license or whatever it is in your state that says that you're an organ donor. It won't matter. And people won't die on the list waiting for a liver transplant. I think that part's fantastic. Now, I don't know what it does as we keep all these people alive, what we're going to do. Well, that's a lot of food. That's a lot of water. More billions and billions. We're already, look, even with people dying of malaria in third world countries or people dying of obesity in the United States of America because of poor diets, we're still becoming extremely overpopulated. And I don't think we're getting to Mars too soon. Okay. So that's a whole other problem as we keep extending people's lives. Which, look, I'm not saying I'm not for that. I'm just saying that opens up a huge problem when it comes to how are people going to have enough food, enough power, enough water, enough of everything. So, but I think overall, I like that message. That's okay.
Except
right?
that they've evolved since then, where they now are mocking the idea of a genie in the sky, and to me, this is their attempt to be God.
Oh, I see. So look at us. We can replicate the human heart, so that makes me God. So
But
now
to
I
me,
can
for
do what God
everything,
does. So there is
yeah,
no God, really, right? Because I'm God. So why do you need God? Okay, because I
yeah,
can make you a heart. So that's
yep.
powerful. Is God making you a second heart? Is that happening? Well, yeah, he really is. Because, by the way, artificial intelligence is coming, good, bad, or otherwise, from the human mind. And God made the human mind. Hate to break the news to you. But it's the weaponization of the human mind that's the problem. It's the weaponization of artificial intelligence that's the problem. It's great news that we can make, if the technology is coming that you can print organs to help people. I think that's great news. I do. I don't think that's bad. I think it's great that we learned how to mend a bone. We didn't say, God, do it. Sir, you broke your leg. God will fix it for you. No, he's not. God helps those who help themselves. God's going, hey, I gave you a brain. Figure out how to do that. Okay? So we learned how to put a splint, on a leg and put a cast on an arm. That's part of technology. I'm fine with that. So, but if the argument is that they're going to say, Eric, that now they're God, reminds me of a movie scene. Oh, with that guy, the actor that shot the person in the Western movie that they were making. Oh, he played a doctor and he was like, God, I'm God. I forget what movie that was, but kind of reminds me of that.
Well, think of this. Think of this: if AI won't allow you to print it, so you need the help, and now you're looking to AI because you have a bad ESG score. I'm just saying, this always it sounds
pause
okay.
right there for a second. No, wait a minute. You didn't finish your thought. You said because you have a bad ESG, then you moved on. See, a bad ESG score, your social credit score. Is that where you were going?
Yeah, you don't get to print on your printer that you don't own because you don't own anything.
Yeah, that's a different conversation. Being able to print an organ for somebody who's dying and there isn't enough livers or kidneys out there, I think that's a blessing from God to be able to do that. To take something, because by the way, everything that we work with comes from Earth. Just so you know, we're not using moon rocks. Okay, we everything that we use is natural. Everything. There's nothing that you see around you, anywhere you look, that it didn't come from Earth. Nothing. Including yourself, including your own body. Not your soul, but your body. So I think it's a blessing that we have the capability to do stuff like that. Now, Eric, you're talking about weaponizing the technology against people.
Right.
That's a different conversation. That comes down to you and I, folks. It comes down to your liberty. It comes down to your constitutional rights. And that's the danger of these world economic forums and these world health organizations wanting to take all your power away. That's the danger, because it gets rid of your individualism. Your sovereignty as an individual person, you have sovereignty. Okay.
Okay. Next one. Here we go.
Go ahead. You'll eat much less meat. Eat less meat. It says in turquoise. Okay, so you'll eat much less meat.
So what are they doing over in Europe? They're introducing ground up crickets for the children for their
protein.
meals.
It's protein, right? That's what they do in third world countries, folks. Look, as you devolve, you will eat the crickets. Because what you used to have to do way, way, way back before you were a first world country, you had to eat crickets and snails, and you rummage through the dirt and get down the ground, and you had to be you're still a carnivore, by the way. Okay, you still have proteins. There's meats there, and it's just a different kind of meat. It's not a cow, because I think crickets fart less than cows. That's probably their big deal. They have left. They don't. Their
Climate
volatile
change.
organic compounds are less, so it's healthier for you to eat.
Yeah.
Look, it's about devolving you, folks. It's about taking you away. Air conditioning's got to go away. Open your windows. Anyway, go ahead.
Cars, etc. Okay, here we go.
You'll eat much less meat. No, look, eating too much meat may not be good for you. I don't know. Let's see. An occasional. Is that it? Is that done writing?
Yep.
Okay, an occasional treat, not a staple for the good of the environment and our health. So occasional, not a staple, good.
That was
health.
reference, I think, to meat. But the problem is the ones that are probably going to be eating the meat will be the wealthy.
I see. They're showing you trees. So
Yeah.
because they want you to have a plant-based
Diet.
meat. Think about this for a minute, folks. Remember I told you, anyone who's followed me for any amount of time, a lie, the best lies in the world come from strong truths, right? And they twist and they manipulate those truths, and they stick a lie right on top of it, and they're very powerful. So case in point right there. I went to Panda Express. I walked into Panda Express. You get behind, they've got the glass and all that, and you walk up, and what sucks is now that COVID, you can't taste something. Because sometimes, even though I know what the orange chicken tastes like, because I've had it probably 100 times or more, I still want a taste of it. That's a little white lie, I know. I just want a taste of it, because I'm not going to buy it that day, but I got to get my fix, okay? So they had an orange chicken, and I didn't pay attention. And it just said it was a healthier option for the orange chicken. I didn't read the small print. So I guess I'll take that. Let me just try that. And they threw it on the plate. And they do a thing, and I pay for it, and I sit down. And it looks like kind of like orange chicken, different shape and all that kind of stuff. And I took a bite, and folks, I had no idea. My brain could not register. Because look, my brain thought the truth was going to happen. It was a better, like an organic chicken or something like that. It was only grass-fed, and it was happy and had friends before it was executed. And he lived this happy life. And that's what I was thought, and it'd be like a chicken, and it was just healthier. But no, that's not what it was, folks. It was a lie. I was chewing it, and I'm like, what is this? And I spit it out, and I look up at the board. I go, what was that? And I really paid attention to it. It said plant-based orange chicken, something like that. And I'm like, oh my God, this is the most disgusting thing I've ever tasted. A plant-based chicken. See, when they say plant-based hamburger, see, it's so egregious. They can't even come up with their own thing. They have to steal the name hamburger and pretend you're eating a hamburger, but it's made from a plant. But they still have to use the word hamburger because it's so disgusting that you would never, ever, ever go. They got to make it look like a hamburger. They got to make the fake like meat look that it has, because they're tricking you. They're lying to you. It's disgusting. So,
well, you tried. You were part of the process here, so you tried the fake meat, and then the next prediction.
Horrible. Blow it up. I can't see it there.
Okay, so 1 billion people by 2030 will be displaced by climate change.
Okay, 1 billion people will be displaced by climate change. Displaced. 1 billion people displaced. So there's about 7 billion, maybe 8 billion people. No one knows. By the way, folks, nobody knows how many people are in the world? Nobody. How would they know? Are they counting them all? I mean, are they physically going out and counting? They don't know. They guesstimate. Okay, so let's say it's 7.5 to 8 billion people. Okay, so here's the globe. It's right here. There it is. All right, so there's America right there. American. More about that later. And what do we got here? Well, yeah, you got that country, those countries over there. All these countries are going to be, what does it say? Displaced by climate change. So where are they going? So are they going to go to, isn't the whole world having climate change? Now, what if you like hot weather better than cold weather? What if you like a dry climate better than a wet climate? I mean, I think what they're really saying is that there's going to be no water? Because that's what it looked like. There's no water in the lake beds and things like that. Is that what they're saying?
Yeah, they have to move to other nations because the mismanagement of the wealthy nations is destroying the planet, forcing people to have to leave and go somewhere else. And AOC, remember, she said that we only had 12 years left. I think we're down to 10 now.
Yes.
But last week you went over the fact that China and India are running most of the coal plants. So I don't know how the U.S. is responsible for this one. But all right, 1 billion people by 2030 because of climate change. What's the next prediction?
Well, I'm going to say something on that right there.
Okay.
Folks, obviously they're focusing on water there in the drought. What if I told you we're never going to run out of water? Ever. If anything's getting displaced, it's just the water, which means when it rains, we don't capture the water right here in this country, as a matter of fact. We don't have enough dams. We don't have enough. Matter of fact, they want to tear dams down. They want to remove Hoover Dam, just get rid of drain Lake Powell. Horrible what it did to the ecosystem there. The world is never going to run out of water, ever. We just don't capture the water correctly as it falls. And yes, there are some people that live in areas that are arid and have been arid for thousands of years. And I think Sam Kinison, see if you can pull that up. Sam Kinison, if you Googled that, Sam Kinison has one of the funniest, he probably has too many cuss words, so he probably may not be able to do it. Sam Kinison has a joke about that, the late Sam Kinison, about you got to move where the water is. So a lot of people, like in Saudi Arabia, all wrapped up in layers and riding on camels, they've lived there for thousands of years with very little water. Why? Why wouldn't you move where the water is? There's always going to be places in the world, folks, that are going to go through stresses. That's called weather, okay? The world is constantly changing, and it is arrogant. It's arrogance by human beings thinking that we actually control the weather. Now, there are some people out there right now who think that the government is actually right now controlling the weather and has the technology to do it. And maybe we should cover that on the show. Maybe we should get Alex Jones on the show and talk about stuff like that, because a lot of people believe that. But anyway, I know you got to keep moving on. Go ahead, Eric.
I will after our...
Oh, a break. Here we go. Hey, remember, we got to get to letters to Trump.
If you study history, in particular, just most recently, you look at what happened in Russia, the Russian Revolution, right? Alexander Solzhenitsyn teaches us, and history teaches us, the issue of the day was getting rid of God first in order for communism to take over. You go forward a few years later in history with Adolf Hitler. What was the first thing the Third Reich was doing? Was silencing and getting rid of the church, God, if you will. And now what we're seeing in the United States of America is the exact same thing.
Amen.
Let's get rid of God, because if you can get rid of God, if you can silence and weaken the church, then all of a sudden the satanic plan for globalism to happen around the world has a much better chance.
Sure.
The hope of America is churches filled with people that love Jesus and are being instructed by on-fire pastors.
Love made it right. Suddenly I see the light. Now when I'm walking home
Welcome back, folks. It's Monday. You know, Mondays, I don't know. A lot of people don't like Monday. A lot of people just dislike Monday because Monday's the beginning of the week. They got to work all week, and it's just long ways till the weekend. So hopefully this show can help, I don't know, get a little excitement in your life, learn a few things, understand what's really going on in the world. And today is no format Monday, just so you know. I've got nothing written down other than ask Craig at craigbushon.com. I was told to write down, Eric, so you're going to be able, I guess, very soon, just send an email to askcraig at craigbushon.com, and we're going to, Eric's going to read your questions to me, and then I'm going to answer them. So, okay, but right now we're at this super scary World Economic Forum. This is ridiculous, but go ahead. But it's true, folks. This is no conspiracy. Eric, go ahead. Okay. Really quick, if people are just tuning in, tell them what we're looking at right here.
Yeah, 2017, this was on Facebook. It was a video compilation of people involved with the World Economic Forum, which is basically they're partnered with the United Nations, WHO, and their people were predicting what would happen by 2030. So by 2030, so that was 7 years ago, they were telling the world that we needed to, that we'll be doing a much better job in integrating refugees into our nations.
Yes. Okay.
By hook or by crook, that would be,
sure. Absolutely.
and that one is happening too. Here we go. Next one.
Okay. All right. We'll have to do. Oh, missed it.
Okay, here is the one Obama, but let's see back here.
Yeah, we'll have to do a better job at welcoming and integrating refugees. So in turquoise, better job welcoming, integrating refugees. So, you know what I think of when I hear about refugees? First of all, what is the definition of a refugee? You know, first of all, and do the people that are coming to the United States of America today, are they actually refugees? Are these people really traveling through, you know, you see right there, you see that little like super highway right here? Going right up through Brazil, going into Mexico, coming, that's like a super highway, okay? You know, what is a refugee? And are the people coming here all refugees? No, they're not. Absolutely they're not. So, but go ahead and blow that back up. I want to see something where it says, this says what? Refugee welcome. You know what it reminds me of? France is burning right now. And Europe is going to burn too, because of the policies that they've had by just letting people in. I personally believe that they have sleeper cells for sure. And this is organized by people that are anti-West, they're anti-liberty, and then soon they're going to be right here with you and I, anti-America. But see, the easier domino to fall right now is Europe, because Europe does not have what you have, folks. You have a constitution and 27 Bill of Rights, and you have separation of powers. You have a tremendous amount of power as a citizen of this country. And that's why when you saw Antifa, Black Lives Matter, you know, those organizations backed by Soros, because Soros wants a one world order as well, by the way. And they tried it here, and they they really ran up against a tremendous amount of resistance, which is you and I. Okay. And so Europe is much easier to deal with because they're a lot weaker. Their constitutions are weaker. The rights of the individual are weaker. And they're just not great at defending themselves, quite frankly. I mean, World War I, World War II. I mean, look, history proves that they're really pathetic at defending themselves. You can see what's going on in Ukraine, that whole scenario, and boy, a lot's coming out about that. The corruption that goes kind of right back to a small amount of people control the world that we talked about earlier. Yeah, they're trying. There's no doubt that they're trying. So, but anyway, go ahead, Eric.
Okay, here is another prediction that they had.
Well, I can't see what polluters
Oh,
will have.
okay. This is the remember Obama said people they would necessarily have to raise the rates, and because they'd be charging a carbon tax on people who put out
Yes.
pollution. Those evil oil companies and coal
Yes.
burning companies.
And I love how they show that coming off. See, that could be a winter day and actually have steam coming out. Folks, that's what steam looks like, just so you know. That's what steam looks like coming out of stacks on a cold day, just so you know. That's not like all smoke that's going up into the atmosphere and making it look like Mexico City. There's no country, there's no state in this country. The air quality in the United States of America, unless you have stupid trains being burning and crashing and burning them in small town America, that can destroy the area, the air quality. That's for sure. But polluters will have to pay to emit carbon dioxide. So polluters pay, emit carbon dioxide. Hey, that's like Al Gore, right? Is he like worth hundreds of millions of dollars now because of carbon credits? I mean, is it Al Gore? I mean, Al Gore, folks, the vice president under Clinton, who accomplished what has Al Gore done in his life? Okay, other than invent the internet. I forgot. He's worth hundreds of millions of dollars, has homes all over the place. I think once in Southern California or right on the coast, because he's convinced people and wealthy people, by the way. See, it's only been wealthy people who can fly their private jets, the Hines family, flying their private jets around let me just hold on a second here. I gotta write a check out. How much is that going to cost him? How about $150,000? Does that get me 10 or so flights to go anywhere I want? Because it doesn't mean anything. They're playing with their own funny money that they've stolen from you, by the way. Okay, these uber wealthy politicians have stolen the money from you. Al Gore is a lying thief. Remember the lie? Remember, we just discussed it. The greatest lies stand on a truth, and then they twist it and manipulate it. That's what these carbon credits are. And the carbon credits are one of the biggest frauds in boondoggle extractions of money that has ever happened in the world. And now they have formulated, because isn't Al Gore part of the World Economic Forum?
Oh, big time. Fauci, Bill Gates. Yeah, they want to put the coal industry out of business by making it too expensive to operate.
That's right. Biden said, you could open up your coal plants, but we're going to have restrictions so hard that you are going to go broke.
So this one is
the car business, by the way. See, the car industry is going broke. Ford right now, who's just doing a marvelous job at their EV cars. They're just doing a marvelous job. They're doing such a good job that they're losing $60,000 per vehicle. Every vehicle that they sell that is electric, which is an EV, a BEV, a battery electric vehicle, loses $60,000 a piece. So what are they doing about it? Great news! Firing people. They're firing thousands of people. They're letting them go. Why? To help cover the losses. And if they ever asked you, isn't the job of a company to build something to supply a demand? See, that's not what we're dealing with, folks. All of this BS that Eric is running through right now, and I'm so glad you did it, by the way. No idea. And this is great. I love talking about it because the fact is, it's right in my wheelhouse. It's right in my wheelhouse. These frauds, these people are frauds, okay? A rule of capitalism / law is you supply the demand. And Ford, and not just Ford, General Motors, you go right down the list of these companies somehow, some way believe that electrification of the automobile is the greatest plan there is, even though the world's not ready for it, even though the United States of America specifically, folks, see, your leaders in this country, way too many of your leaders don't care about you. The supermajority of the people in this country live in apartments. How are you going to have an electric car? The answer is you're not. You're not going to be able to do it, folks. Because in the end, what they really want is companies like Waymo. Google that for a little bit. Just look at Waymo and what they're doing. Google. They are building fleets of automobiles, folks, fleets by the thousands and soon to be millions that have no driver in them. All you do is pick up your phone and you go in and you say, oh, I need to go to the store right now. Oh, wait. Oh, my ESG score. What is my social credit score? Oh, I can't. Oh, I got to have that car. What do you mean I can't go to that store? I don't have a high enough social credit score. They want you to not even own the automobile. You're going to hail one with your ride share app. These people want to destroy the United States of America because they have to. And we're in the way. When Donald Trump says they're going after him, and they're not really going after him, they're really coming after you, and he's just in the way. That's what he's talking about. We've got to pull the veil back. You've got to understand that maybe the company you work for, as a matter of fact, why don't you go ask your boss? Or if you're a boss, go ask your boss. Or maybe you even know, and that's what I want you to do. Hey, you know what? Ask Craig. We need to have another one that just says inform Craig at craigbushon.com. Because some of you out there right now know that you're being pressured because of ESG, environmental social governance. You're being pressured to make very stupid decisions that you know are stupid. Bud Light, Target, you know that they're stupid, but yet you have to do them because it's your job. Even though you don't believe it's going to work at all, it's your job. Folks, we got to start pushing back, ladies and gentlemen. We have to start saying no. We have to start saying, I will not do that. I want to understand who is making us do this. You need to not be afraid to share it. Don't be afraid to go to Spreely, the app that won't cancel you. When you go to Spreely and download Spreely, Spreely, or you go to Twellet, okay, and you download these apps that won't cancel you for sharing the truth. Does this show the truth is not hate speech? So I see where all this is going. What do you have pulled up here? Oh, look at the color chart. That's cute.
Well, this is
How nice
what
that is. It's a rainbow. It's another kind of rainbow.
By 2030, this is what the United Nations is going to do. All of these things by 2030.
Wow. What is there? 17 of them?
Yeah, that for equity purposes, there'll be no poverty in the world.
Oh, wow.
Nobody will be hungry.
No hunger.
Everybody will have the same health worldwide. Same education, gender equality, clean water worldwide, decent work worldwide, housing innovations and industrial innovations and reduced inequalities. So all of these is what they plan on doing by implementing all these ideas. But as we end the show, here their problem with this for the left is this.
Look at that. Trump rally estimated at 50,000 supporters in Pickens, South Carolina. Quote, they had to shut the town down. I love that. Is there a video of that? I love that.
There probably
Maybe there's not.
isn't. Let's
That's
see.
okay. If you can't play,
Yeah,
don't
there
worry
is.
about it.
There is. Let's go. Ready?
Okay,
go.
here we go. Let's see what it is. They probably have some kind
How
of
to escape
ad,
the
though.
heat if you don't
Oh,
have an air
there's your
conditioner.
ad.
This only takes 5 minutes.
Forget it. Don't worry about it.
Tired of
Don't worry
hot
about it.
Speech in a case in Colorado. President Trump, in a address yesterday in front of roughly 50,000 people in Pickens, South Carolina, talked about these big wins.
We appointed nearly 300 federal judges and 3 great Supreme Court justices.
That's right.
And this week, those justices ruled to move our country forward with a merit-based system of education. How big is that?
Yeah. You know,
Isn't that big?
that's
Isn't that great? The
That's great.
Supreme Court
It
also
is great.
ruled that President Biden is not allowed to wipe out hundreds.
So would
Yeah.
the problem with the United Nations hitting their 2030 objectives and everything is Trump and the Constitution.
That's right. What, folks? Here's what's in their way, and I keep saying it. You know, and you see right up there on the globe, I have American up there. All right, and I have the oath. I have the oath that we've talked about on the show. You go to AmericaICan.com. AmericaICan.com. You sign the oath. You can buy a plaque. They're awesome. Put it on the wall. It looks great. But look, we're in the way. And they love the idea that you've been asleep or you're really, really, really busy and you both mom and dad are working or everybody's so busy or you're, hey, I'm on level, hold on a second, Candy Crush. Where's Candy Crush at? 4,621. Unbelievable. Woo! Victory. They have you distracted. Constant. Next video, next video, next video, next video, next video. Because they know how the human mind works and they've done a very, very good job at really getting you focused on anything and everything except what you're supposed to be focused on. And it's that right there. It's focused on that right there. Being an American citizen, your constitutional rights, all these things that we've been reading today. We ran out of time. We did a 2-hour show. All the things that they're doing, that they want to do, all of this utopian stuff, there's a huge problem. And that is they all tread on your constitutional rights. They don't have an authority to come into your country. Biden is looking at right now signing. I'm going to sign right here. Yeah, let's see. The WHO can give. They will have the authority over the American citizen, where they can go, where they can travel to. We're going to gang up on them by getting all these weaker countries that are desperate they're going to gang up against them. The U.S. citizen and the U.S. citizen will conform because the U.S. citizen will be shown through a manipulated media that it doesn't actually have the power it does, and it's a weak nation, and it needs to conform with the other weak nations so it can survive. Folks, it's the biggest lie in the world, in the whole world. The United States of America, you can see it right there on the map. We are specific and exact. We are here on purpose. We have been there. We have a job to do, and it is not to become subservient to the World Economic Forum and the WHO and the World Bank and the Fed and the deep state. No, it's not. It's about we the people, folks. We the people is what it's about. It's about us. We are in the way. But make no mistake, folks, what do we got? We're going to go over a couple minutes, okay? We're going to go over a couple minutes. We can't go to a break right now. Folks, that's why this show exists. It's to focus in on the things that matter. It's about empowering you. It's about getting you to have the strength or the gumption that I'm not going to take it anymore. And you're not alone. You're not alone. If you're in LA right now and you're afraid to talk at your job, if you're in New York and you're afraid to speak, I love the guy who threw the pizzas over the fence because he'll want to not let you have, a wood burning oven. That's what democracy looks like, folks, just so you know. Know what we're going to do? I promised. I don't care. It's our show. It's our network. We're going to go a few minutes over. Right now, we're going to read something quick. Eric, okay, you ready? We're going to do it. Letters
Sounds good.
to Trump. Letters to Trump. Oh, this is going to be great. I'm just going to skip right ahead. We're going to focus on this book, and we're going to do a whole segment on this book in the future. But right now, we're just going to start with what he wrote here, right there, okay? I will always fight for you, the American dreamer. The American dream. I always fight for you and the American dream. Signed, Donald Trump. Okay. And so I'm going to skip real quick here. Let's just find the first letter. The first letter in the book, who's it come from? It says December 1st, 1987. Donald, dear Donald, I did not see the program, but Mrs. Nixon told me that you were great, underlined, on the Donahue show. Phil Donahue, my gosh. Oh, he was a leftist guy, wasn't he? But boy, he's Phil Donahue. As you can imagine, she is an expert on politics, and she predicts, listen to this, she predicts that whenever you decide to run for office, you will be a winner. With warm regards, sincerely. And then, of course, it's President Richard Nixon, that whole... Wow. Well, there you go. That's the first one. Hey, next time, Governor Mario Cuomo. What did he say? He hates Trump, Horrible guy. Trump is like the Antichrist, if you listen to him. Okay. Folks, I think we went over a couple minutes. We're good. All right. Eric, are we good? Are we all right?
Good.
There we go. Thank you. We got more to cover. Let's continue on that because that wasn't over, was it? Or was that over?
Oh, no. We'll have to do a part 2.
We'll do part 2, folks. We'll sprinkle some of that in our 4th of July. Oh, that's coming. 1776 going to be everywhere. Going to have my hat on. Folks, it's all about America. It's all about you. It's all about me. It's all about us. Go to CraigBushon.com. Go to AmericaICan.com. Love you all. God bless. We will see you tomorrow.